For this video, I rolled the first version of my intro on YouTube, which I used for my sketchbook tours that I have privated now. I feel like I've outgrown myself in those videos. I also did 4 parts, up to like half an hour, which is way too long for a sketchbook tour. So I wanted to condense everything into one single video, and that's this. Just less yapping, more showing. Here are my sketchbooks. They're all banana themed, and there's no real reason behind that other than the fact that my first sketchbook was this one and it has bananas on its cover, so I thought, let's make them all banana. Before I open this little book, I want to say, yeah, my old videos, they're just kind of cringe. It was, I think, like 2 years ago at this point. Maybe I'll try to insert some clips from the old videos into this one. But so here it is, the very first sketchbook. My very first drawing and my very first official sort of sketchbook format book is a picture of a random dude from Google. An imaginary bathroom. I think this looks pretty cool. This is one of the coolest little things I've drawn, and this is just full of all sorts of faces and demons. Yeah, for my old sketchbook tour videos, I actually was like commenting literally about everything. No face. I recently saw Spirited Away in theaters. It was so awesome. Here's a sketch I made based on a dream I had. It was in an old apartment building, sort of like a Soviet era apartment building. Some dudes. This is pretty interesting. Inktober. If you don't know what Inktober is, basically in the month of October, there is this challenge where every day you have a prompt and you just have to draw something with a pen based on that prompt. So the first prompt here was poisonous, and I decided to draw some poisonous berries and jellyfish. Here for day 2, tranquil, so yin and yang as fishes. Day 3 is roasted, so reading, learning. It makes your brain roasted, yeah. We got some depressed girl sitting at a kotatsu, I think it's called, the Japanese tables. Here's spell. A chicken. Really cool chicken. I have a tattoo of a chicken, actually. Kind of looks similar, doesn't it? Koshi, some instant noodles. Drooling, sort of crazy anxiety bullshit. Exhausted. I really like this drawing. This sort of face peeking behind this curtain with little charms on it. A star. Death holding a star. Star, so Death holding a star. Oh, this is a little sketch of my cat's eyes. I'm not sure where he is. He's just lost. It's a long story. Here's a photo of him. Oh, here's a little comment about him. He can't stop licking himself. Litas. His name was Litas. Here is Flowing, which is based on that Japanese painting, very famous, The Wave. I actually got some waves back there. But this one has some hidden cats inside it. Sleepy. Ooh, interesting. If there was an extra E in there. Anxiety sucks. Am I dying? No. Panic attack. Whenever I'm writing these letters, I'm actually using it as a form of meditation, because it used to help me calm down because I had a lot of anxiety. It used to be pretty bad back then. You can actually remember this. This is based on a dream, which is a drawing that comes up in another one of my sketchbooks. Here's a little gouache scene with, I don't know, is that an explosive behind? I really like this one. It's the way the color kind of bleeds where the light is beaming. This is really cool. Some more hypochondriac babble. Blood, lungs, blob dog. A little view of this path I used to go down when I went to school. So this is 18. So I was probably thinking about going to university, what I was going to study. And for some reason I just thought, you know what, I'm going to be a game artist. So I thought game artists do like concept stuff. So this is what I started doing. Here's me sitting at my room drawing. I drew myself from the back. Here's some sort of character, again, thinking about the game art stuff, like character design. Somalia, I don't know who she's based on, just completely made up. 4 arms, sort of like a Ben 10 character. Mercurius, I did the big painting based on this little sketch, but the sketch looks so much better than the painting. Bad dog, Gucci, which is my friend's dog, who's resting in heaven. Bless Gucci. Skrillex here. I made a joke in my past videos that this looks like Skrillex. Probably the strangest one. Skrillex, like, for Breakable, I drew a heart, which is interesting. I guess just to remember how fragile your heart is. Drain. Again, school draining you. I was obviously still in school in 2018, high school. I think 10th grade I was. 17 years old. Life is all about burning away money, which I know very well now than I did before then. Because at this stage of my life, I didn't even have a job, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Mushrooms. A prickly cactus. Stretching fruit. An apple, a granite, an orange. Oh, here's a nice little drawing of gouache, an eye. A gift. So a demented little gift. Like one of those scary pop-up clown things. Uno, double. That face you make when the person draws a fucking double on your double, and then you have to draw 4. Jolt. So jolting awake from an awful dream, only to realize it's not a dream. Something going on here. Then an even scarier face. I actually like how dynamic this one looks like. The contrast is crazy. Slice. A person getting sliced in half. This is pretty cool. I actually wanted to do this whole page in this sort of shrift, but I just ended up doing it halfway and then filling it in with black. Here you can actually see evidence of my sort of love for creating alien scripts. Or not even alien, just like random shit. Certain little shapes assigned to letters, and then like, you know, I use the shapes to write something, I don't know. And that all evolved into me making this script, which I've actually stuck to. And you can check out a video, me explaining and showing you all of it. Writing something here. How are you doing? And it's just triangles, squares, and X's. Here is my hand. I think my hand is bigger for sure. Okay, here is another script I developed. Mantas yra mano vardas. Mantas is my name. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. Even though it looks so mysterious and like, what is written here? It's nothing. It's like bullshit. Okay, this is a collab with one of my friends. She drew the face, like the line work, and then I just colored it in. I really love this one. And this here was part of a project where I took a really huge piece of paper, I think just like an A3 piece of paper, and I was wanting to fill it out with these sorts of doodles, but it was becoming too tedious of a task. Then I did start it again with the intention of making it as a present for my nephew for the occasion of his birth. But it's been like years now, and I'm still to finish that drawing because it's an A1 piece of paper, which is like double the size of an A3. I'm hoping to finish it one day because it's actually pretty cool, but I'm gonna post it on my ArtStation someday, so that is in my description below. Here's another collab. Again, she drew the character and I just colored it in with the watercolor, I think. Oh, and here's the code, so if you want to go back and read that stuff I wrote, you can. On Creepy Face again. On to the second one. So this had a completely different cover. I just made it banana because I decided all my sketchbooks are going to be banana themed. So I used some gold paint, taped it down. So this one started in 2019. This is the dream I mentioned. I had a nightmare that I was in this dark room. The room was really unsettling. The room was like empty, apart for this workbench, a man, and I think a woman. The woman was sat on that workbench, and the man, he like took a pan and whacked the woman in the face. And I don't know if you can imagine that visual, but like she turned into a pancake. And he like took her face off, took a basketball, just took the face, he nailed it to the ball, and then he put it on the wall. And I look at the wall, and it's a wall full of these balls with like defaced people. It was awful. This is based on a dream as well. I dreamt that my grandparents' estate was burning, or the forest next to it. Here we got this nice minimalist painting, which unfortunately is a little stained. I liked some eyes I drew in one of my sketchbooks with this tinted paper, so I cut them out and taped it on. This is a portrait of my mom I drew on the airplane when we were flying to Egypt for vacation. It looks really awful. This is some page. I tried to be more experimental with this sketchbook here. These are just, I think, the only sketches I did while I was in Egypt. This is pretty cool as well. Trying to be a bit more interactive with my sketchbook. Cool shiny gold paint. Yeah, sometimes I just get in the mood to really sit down and doodle. Passes we had in Egypt when we were visiting these touristy places. My camera lens just fell off. So I cut those out, stuck them on there, because otherwise I would have lost them, I think. These were sketches I was doing for a little contest to make a cover for a book. This backpack here as well. I didn't win it, which was a fucking hoax. This is a view from my window back home. This I used actually some burnt wood I just found, charcoal. I think in my old video I commented on this page about this in particular. This is not vent art, just art. Because I don't actually, if I'm angry, I'm not gonna sit down and draw. I draw when I'm relaxed. So I was actually very relaxed here. This is a little sketch for a mural we did at school. And actually my art teacher helped me make this little book with some of my traditional art, which I actually spent time on. And in here I did put that mural. Oh, here's the book I was talking about. This is only part of it. There is like a whole other half. I do also have like a portrait of Billie Eilish, which we had one. She made an appearance here in the front of the sketchbook. And I'm still a big fan of her. I actually bought her vinyl for the album Blue. I didn't play this yet, but I did listen to the album. Again, being a little more interactive, where you can remove whatever is inside. And this envelope, email, actually has some more. So we have a fire, Lutus, my dear cat, a dice. Look how fitting it is now. What an interesting parallel. Pray for Amazonia. The Amazon forest was having a pretty bad wildfire at the time. Here I was trying to design a tattoo for myself. I like my little sort of human face type sketches on this sketchbook a lot more. Like the hands are looking nice. This mouth is pretty cool. My potential tattoos. Yeah, I thought I was gonna get the snake. A little maneki neko. And this one from Avatar The Last Airbender, which is an air symbol, which I will eventually get. I don't think I'm getting these, but I do want to get this one. This is interesting. I think maybe the first written mention of Carulum, which is the fictional planet in the PCU. You can find out more about that if you watch the Femur video, and also check out my social media. And that's how this one ends. So we're really not wasting any time here. Moving on to the third sketchbook, which is actually my favorite. The cover here says Banana no Sketchbook. It used to have these kittens on it. It's actually funny how I'm saying kind of the same things I said in my old video. It had these cute kittens on it. And this one is gonna be from 2019. So when the last one ended, September to 2020, 4/29, which is like about the start of the COVID pandemic. We've got a little self-portrait, allegedly. Drew myself by accident, I said. Got some other concept here that I wanted to get as a tattoo, never did because it sucks. Here's another sort of look through my window. 4 nations from Avatar. Cool little drawing of a stapler with some actual staples. Oh, this is much closer to what I think I almost ended up getting as a tattoo. I remember actually me and my sister went to a tattoo parlor, or a tattoo studio. We talked to an artist. We showed him this drawing, this design that I wanted to get and I actually would have gotten. But he was like, this doesn't work as a tattoo design. It's way too small or detailed or whatever. There's like some hella detailed tattoos out there. And the design we showed him definitely like was going to be large. I think he just didn't want to do it. And honestly, thank God for that, because I kind of would hate this tattoo right now. Because I just took it from Pinterest. I did alter the design a little bit, but it's just not authentic. This is an interesting double page, which is not something I do a lot. Not quite sure what this is, but it's interesting. Secret. I think in my past sketchbook video, I kept this secret a secret. You already know what the Femur script is if you watch the video, which is the 3rd time I'm mentioning it. This is actually a bit of an older version of the script. You can see I blacked it out, but you can see the pencil glimmering, and I wrote something here in it about it. What? I'm saying this sketchbook is already such a mess. I'm extremely self-aware in my sketchbooks, again, because I knew that I was going to be like making a video about them, which is kind of fucked up because, I mean, you know, you imagine you just kind of pick up and draw for yourself, but I always had this expectation like, oh, people are going to see this and I have to like tell them what's going on. I think I was painting a lot more in this sketchbook, just with gouache. It's a very easy paint to use. I was doing Inktober here again. This is Amelia Fart. She actually shows up in my sketchbook maybe a couple times. Just a cool eccentric person, though I don't follow her anymore. So Yes, I actually used that blood on this 2nd October drawing Mindless. This is, I used the glittery pens. Husky Enchanted. This is another double page which I really love. I attempted to make a painting for my friend based on this, but I sort of made it look a little more modern. I wish I just did this. He did. Again, I love decapitation sort of stuff, it seems. I had a dream, I got everything I wanted. If you thought this sketchbook was free of Billie Eilish, it's not, because it had some lyrics from her song. This is a cool pattern of skulls and bones. Okay, so about Inktober, at this point, I renamed it to Lazytober, because I wasn't sitting down to draw every day. I ended up just doing days in a row into one drawing. So this one was Ash Overgrown and Legend all in one drawing. This is some stuff based on Igloo Ghost, the Igloo verse or whatever it's called, but it's something that I kind of made up myself. I just used the characters from his universe. So this is just some kind of like lore about these creatures who kind of develop from seeds and feed off each other and die, and it's a whole cycle. This is Carulum with some text in a bit of an older femur script. Here is some more of that weird lore. Lazytober, this time I combined wild, ornament, and misfit. So this ornament is a wild misfit. He's smoking a cigar. All the other ornaments are like, what the hell, dude, what a douche. Causing a ruckus on the Christmas tree. Oh my god, it's actually fitting. I'm wearing a Christmas sweater in May. My hand again. It's like a baby print. I can check how much my hand has grown over the years. Now, talk about some fucking Lazytober. I combined all days from the 21st to the 31st, which means there's 10 prompts all in one drawing. We have Amelia Fard again. I really like this drawing I did of her. She's sitting by a candle. It kind of captures her essence. This is pretty funny. If it's ugly, cover it up with a post-it note, and then under here it says ugly. Wreck This Journal is a reference to a journal called Wreck This Journal, but I did a page inspired, so I burned a hole through it. This is really cool. I'm glad I took a picture before all the ink bleed. This is what it looked like. I love this as well. So I was doing sort of a lot of more higher detail sketching character stuff for my portfolio for university. These are actually from essays I wrote in school. You can see some grades here as well. So 6, 5, 7, I was really good at Lithuanian literature. This is a little concepting I did for my final art exam piece, which I have in here as well. This one. The colors in this book are printed really weird, like overly saturated, but it's actually like a really huge canvas. It's a meter by 120 centimeters. It's just sort of based on genres of music. Some more like interesting character design. I actually remember wanting to get a tattoo of No Face, so I think I was kind of sketching like ideas about that. I ended up just getting soot sprites though. Right here they're playing with their little candies. For some reason I almost wanted to get this as a tattoo. I don't know, I just kind of like how lanky this dog looks. These I did very intentionally actually put effort into doing it with the intention of putting it on my portfolio. So I'm showing a bit more detail of my understanding of anatomy, which is like, it's not really understanding, it's more like, look, I can draw detailed things too. Some full body. For this page I actually put on like some hair dye. It was actually like blue, now it's turned brown. This is my character in Wizard 101, Nicholas Titanfinder. This is actually a map of Carulum. Not the map, it's a map. Not sure of what era. Here I was sketching for an Olympiad, an art Olympiad. It's this piece right here on an A3 piece of paper. Really love how it turned out. And the judges liked it too. With this drawing that I just showed, I was actually picked just from my city And then I was supposed to go to the national Olympiad, but because of COVID, it was canceled. And I feel like I had a really good shot of actually winning, or at least participate, because I had actually tried to get into the national for like 3 times before this attempt. I created something here, which is maybe almost like a game. Some sort of power system with points and moving energy, temples and nodes, and then pulses. I don't remember any of this. And did I use this for anything? No, I didn't. It was just pure messing about. Here I say, it's in Lithuanian, but it says, I cannot wait for the day when I say, wow, I thought I had leukemia. What an idiot. And you know what? Today is the day I can say, wow, I really thought I had leukemia, which I didn't. These seem to be thumbnails for maybe an art piece I never decided to draw. I'm getting a bit more chaotic. I made like a larger version of this one because I just kind of liked this page. Stay sane, stay sane, stay sane, I don't give a fuck. This is like, sort of seems like the progression of somebody who has schizophrenia. Aw. And here is my family as animals. I'm obviously the sloth. Here we have a very old sigil. It's called the Darna. This is the Darna of Visionary. Here are a lot of drawings of my friend, because at the time I was practicing to do like a illustration for her that she commissioned. So I wanted to like practice her face, I guess, so that it looks like her. I love this page a lot. I just found this bird on the internet and this flower. For the end, I was just doing a lot of writing for a novel idea I had at the time. Okay, here I have a little message for myself. Now it's 2020, April 29, just past 12. This is my last sketchbook before I go to uni. It doesn't feel that long ago. Well, it does. It feels ages ago, but I still recognize it as me, you know? It's like, I could have written this like a month ago. I don't know, it just doesn't feel that different. Though I've changed like a shit ton. I've changed a lot. I mean, it's been 4 years, more than 4 years probably. So that was my favorite because I feel like that year was just really filled with a lot of emotional searching, obviously before uni and like my last year of high school. And then this last one is sort of a work in progress, yet I feel that I will never actually fill it up. I just kind of use it at this point as I don't know, like literally I don't use it to draw anything really. Looks like the most developed cover. It's like got this iridescent paint on these protruding like banana illustrations that are glued on here. It has this weird silver marker, this spine. It all looks so fancy. But it's actually bare, empty nothingness. If I'm drawing nowadays, I like to have a separate piece of paper, which is like its own thing. But there is some stuff in here, so this will be like the shortest one. This I was drawing with my friend at a park. It still has some fun stuff inside. Here is a little character I created and a little story about him. I mentioned this in my femur video as well, but this is essentially a story about some class excursion where this kid got lost in the woods, I think, and he got stuck in a trunk, and he spent so long inside that he grew into the trunk, and he turned into a weird, grotesque slug. So this is obviously when I was studying already. These little snippets here are from a sketchbook where I was drawing still lifes for a university assignment. Baby, a baby, a baby, a baby, a baby, a baby. This is really sweet. This is a collaboration between me and mom. So we just took turns switching the sketchbook, and I drew a bit, then she drew a bit, then I drew a bit, she drew a bit. I think she drew some of the trees, leaves, and flower type things. This is pretty cool. I actually painted this face onto a tote bag. I like how I painted the lips here. They look very dimensional and soft. This is actually something I drew a few days ago. I just cut it out. I wanted to stick it into this sketchbook. I didn't like it in particular, so whatever. This is some more stuff I drew in my sketchbook for my assignment. These are just my fingerprints. Here we've got some interesting monsters and bugs. This is a very nice still life as well I did for uni. This is something I was trying to design as a tattoo as well. I would like to rework this design and maybe I could actually get it done someday. And this is a character called Vetra, which means storm. In that video I actually went and drew this because the video was kind of short because there isn't a lot of content in this sketchbook. So I did a little drawing session of this monster, and I can show you some clips of that. My mother is also a creative person, and in the toilet room we had this one piece which it obviously has two frogs on lily pads with the sun behind them, but for me I thought it was a yellow monster who had like really scary spiky teeth, two eyes, like four eyes, loopy ears, black ears, and I thought that was kind of funny and I wanted to draw him so like what I thought it is. Kind of want his feet to remind of the Grinch. Maybe he has like a toe that isn't covered, maybe like a tail. I drew an ass. I'll try to color it in. I made the eyes blue. It's as if his like diet is spice. It was fun to draw. I had fun. I'm relaxed. Moving right along. Here's some poetry which I've posted online, I think. This is where I was exploring, figuring out how the script works, the femur script, which is the modern version of it. Oh, this wristband. This is from when I went to the Billie Eilish. Wow, so does Billie Eilish make an appearance in every one of my sketchbooks? Because this is the wristband I got when I went to see her in Birmingham. This here is a storyboard I did for one of my videos on Instagram about the orange instrument, which is a very essential part of the story in the PCU. This is some more poetry in femur. This is a self-portrait. I'm about to make the decision if I should sacrifice humanity, and I'm obviously about to click on yes. I was staying at my mom's place. She lives in a caravan at the moment. At night, there was some weird like digging, scratching around the walls, and the next morning my mom said, oh, I think there's like foxes that come around and they like to scuffle around the caravan. And this is kind of the caravan turned into a monster because it's kind of haunted, I guess. Starkeeper is some character. This is a little bit of foil I stuck on. Blank. I don't draw in this sketchbook like page by page, so there are some pages in here where I like draw in the middle of it. Ooh, this is a really cool sticker. Like Other Girls is a brand that is run by one of her friends. I think it's really cool. I actually have a necklace here that I bought for myself and my boyfriend. Go to this freaking site right here. I was concepting a gift for my other friend, which came out really cool. So these are just like some ideas I had. Here's a self-portrait. This is a tattoo design I did for that same friend for which I did that little jewelry box. And she actually got this design done. I just remastered it in Photoshop, so it's nicer, cleaned up. That's the orange instrument. The bike, which actually shows up in the video in the background. This purple bike. A ship. The Reverie. Some of the essential darnas, the sigils. This is a little funny character. It says, do you have any cigs? So my boyfriend gifted me some colored pencils, and I used them to draw Moiraine from the Wheel of Time. Here we have the thumbnail for the femur video. Like random pages where I just have writing. I was writing this stuff for the video. It's kind of sad to think, you know, it's not as genuine anymore. It's just kind of to scribble around. I think the last thing I want to mention here. So my mom really likes sort of squiggly things and dots and flowers and hearts. So for my first tattoo that I was going to do on her, I wanted to design a little squiggly thing that I would do on her hand, the side of her hand. And she ended up liking this design. I took it into Photoshop, cleaned it up a bit, and then I actually did it on her hand. Came out pretty awful. Not my proudest artwork. It is sentimental that my first tattoo is on my mom. And that's kind of like where my artistic journey is going at the moment, and I'm having a lot of fun because it's just kind of like the first drawings I used to do in my older sketchbooks. I was doing Inktober. I had a lot of fun doing those because it's just kind of these simple symbolic drawings. But that kind of concludes this video. We checked out all my sketchbooks in this hopefully shortened version, as short as I can get. So that is all that I wanted to show you. Have a Merry Christmas. I literally don't know. Goodbye.